we just got done seeing the new movie, Annabelle Comes Home. And truth be told, it terrified the crap out of me.
Wherever I come, bad luck just comes my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.
That was like really creepy looking.
I feel like that.
So, yeah.
I feel like this should stay with us the entire time.
Yeah, I gotta say like this the entire time.
Yeah. So we were one of the very first people into this advanced screening, and as a gift, they gave us these creepy masks. And what do you guys think of our creepy horror movie mood lighting? Annabelle, it's on the back. It says Annabelle Comes Home. Only in theaters, June 26th. We got to see it tonight, a couple days before it comes out. And like I said, it was actually pretty terrifying. Truth be told,
It was.
I don't really remember the first or second Annabelle. This is the third one, right?
This is the third or fourth. So there's Annabelle,
Oh, no.
Origins of Annabelle, and I want to say that there's a third one, but maybe that you're right. Maybe this is the third one.
Maybe this is the third one.
I remember. It gets confusing for my memory because she was a part of The Conjuring.
Which is amazing.
I love The Conjuring.
Yeah,
Love The
Lorraine
Conjuring.
Warren
Yeah.
just passed not too long ago, so she has joined Ed in the ever after, the hereafter, or the after, or the ether.
Ever after.
Ever
Forever
after.
after.
I always wish that we could have met them.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing.
They used to do dinners, and we tried, but
But now we can actually go to where they're buried. That's a very Grimm-Life kind of thing to do,
we
right?
could. We could go and visit their resting place. We absolutely could and pay our respects because, I mean, you know, fans
Yeah.
of their work.
The Conjuring movies are some of our favorite movies. The stories of the Warrens are phenomenal. Even if you don't believe, the stories are phenomenal,
Not just that, but the way that they're filmed.
right? And the
They
people
are done very well.
and the guy, I don't know his name. The guy who plays Ed,
Oh, that is... Oh, I knew his name.
I don't know. And the woman who plays Vera Farmiga, who was also in Bates Motel, they're both great Ed and Lorraine Warrens.
They are.
They are. Like, nobody else could have played them, I don't
I
think.
used to know his name because people would confuse him for being one of the brothers. Oh, man, you're going to still have to cut this part out.
No, it's okay. This is kind of a kooky enough. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to comment and we're going to remember it afterwards. Back to the movie.
Comment below because
Yeah.
I'm just not. My brain's too scared to respond.
Back to the movie. This movie, Annabelle Comes Home, was absolutely terrifying. This is the very first time in a long time that we've seen a movie and everybody was quiet. You could
Yeah.
hear a pin drop.
Well, I mean, you could hear a pin drop in some parts, and there were people who were so nervous and scared that they were jumping at parts that were not scary, but they were made to be jump scares for, you know, to work you up to the big parts. And I know these are so creepy. And I have like this really dramatic lighting that's lighting up my eyeballs. I can't even see y'all. So another movie done well. It's a good horror movie.
Yes.
I was actually, my anxiety was going up during this film, which does not happen very often. Like, that's a rarity for me. So when I find something like this, I actually really cherish it. If you scare easy, do not watch this by yourself.
That's a great date movie.
It's a good date movie.
Great date
You'll want to
movie.
cling to somebody. I was clinging to you at a couple of parts in the movie theater. Don't watch this in the dark if you scare easy. Definitely don't watch this by yourself in the dark if you scare easy. Invite over a companion for some popcorn and some movies and hold on to each other because it's creepy. Creepy good, but it's still creepy.
I'm going to give a little spoiler-ish here because we didn't really know much about this movie going into it.
No.
In fact, on the way here, sitting in traffic, I pulled up the synopsis. I'm going to cheat a little bit. These tickets were made available to us by Mortem Manor. If you don't know what Mortem Manor is, right above us right now is a video that we did when we went and visited them. They all year-round haunted house here in Orlando, Florida, and you can actually do this burial simulator.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
That's our video. Thank you, Mortem Manor, for making this possible. It was a great horror movie. We saw Brightburn recently. It was good. This one was good.
Better.
Little spoiler-ish thing about it. I'm wearing a Goonies t-shirt, and I feel after watching it was kind of appropriate because the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren, were in this, but it was kind of like bookend. They were there in the beginning and they were there in the end. Sorry if that ruins it for you, but the kids. This was this was the kids' movie of like, not like a kids movie, like a Disney movie. It was them.
This is a horror movie. For
it was the kids. How do you say it? Taking over. It was like the Goonies of horror. It was actually really cool.
It revolved itself around the Warrens' daughter Judy.
Oh, I don't remember her name.
And
all I remember is this thing. I'm obsessed with this.
Without trying to spoil it for any of you guys, it takes place in the home with Annabelle, a story with Annabelle. There's so it's hard to talk about it because you really would just give out a bunch of spoilers, and I just want y'all. I mean, if you don't mind spoilers, that's cool, but a lot of people really want the genuine feeling of when they go into a film. I know I do. I don't always care if I get spoilers about some things, but on a movie like this, if I knew too much going in, I feel like it might have ruined a little bit of the effect for me, so I'm not going to spoil anything.
I will say this. I will give a little spoilerish thing. Not too bad, because, like...
We have to agree to either do spoilers or not spoilers, because if I say I'm not going to spoil and you spoil, we still spoil.
Right. Well... We're going to talk about the synopsis. We won't go any further than that. We're not going to go into like, hey, this is what happened whenever they walked into this room or whatever.
No,
but so like, we didn't watch the trailer. We had to read the synopsis. We had to read about the movie. And maybe if you're watching this and you want to see it and you've seen the trailer and you're like, oh heck yeah, Annabelle. Ooh. Basically, if you've ever watched the Annabelle movies or The Conjuring, there's the room where they put all their cursed objects and everything like that. Correct? Correct. We all know that. This movie is pretty much what happens in that room. We realized that we haven't done a giveaway in a very long time, and this movie has given us a great idea for a giveaway. Jessica has an Annabelle mask. I have an Annabelle mask. And they gave us a third Annabelle mask, which means if you can comment below the name of the actor who played Ed Warren in the movie The Conjuring and Annabelle Comes Home, you will be entered into a drawing for one of these studio masks. It says Annabelle Comes Home, only in theaters June 26th. We have 3. We only need 2. Could you be the lucky winner?
Look, it's an old movie.
It is very, very creepy. This is a very creepy movie review rant and ramble. Ready?
Basically, I'm really ADD. And welcome to a peek into my life.
We're having too much fun with these things. Alright, so final thoughts.
Okay, final thoughts. I have actually seen the Annabelle films, and the first one was so-so. Second one, pretty cool. I saw the previews for this one, and I didn't get very excited for it. Curiosity, sure. But if you're like me, and you've kind of followed, you like The Conjuring, but you're not so sure how you feel about Annabelle, and you didn't think that the previews were very exciting, I would still suggest to go see it, because I actually was gripped onto him at one point. People were screaming in theater at like the smallest things, because it really did a great job of building up that suspense and doing it in a really like beautifully horrific way. It's creepy, man. I'm trying to do this without cussing. Like, I want to cuss up a storm right now, and like how awesomely well done it was. I can't really rave enough about how much I was pleasantly surprised with this film.
You want to know what one of my favorite characters were?
Annabelle?
No.
Oh, who was your favorite character?
The Fog.
Yeah. There's so many cool elements. I almost ran into like another rant and like ruined some spoilers. It had a good classic feeling to it, man. Like, if you prefer some of the older suspense horror films, I think you're gonna enjoy this.
I love atmospherical movies. I don't really remember much about the soundtrack. Oh, I'm going to say there's lack of soundtrack. Because there are a few parts where...
No, you're right.
There's a scene where one of the girls, the main characters, walks into her room. And I remember sitting there thinking, I'm really happy that there's no music to this. Because if she was actually walking into this room in the dead of night, this is probably what it would sound like. And it was creepy.
You could really hear the room was greatly silent. Thank you very much. And
whoever didn't write the soundtrack for this, great job.
There was a couple of scenes where you hear some suspenseful music and you're like, oh, something's coming, and you kind of like try to prepare yourself. So there obviously is some music to it, but I think that it was so well placed and attached to the film that you didn't notice it like you normally do notice it in films. Like I kept saying, I'm gushing about this movie because I was actually really pleasantly surprised at the quality of the film and how well everything was done. Like, some things are just really corny and cheesy and you're like, oh, I saw that coming.
I have a question.
I got scared.
For you.
I don't know if I'm like, oh my God, not like, I wasn't going to scream or anything, but it got my anxiety up. I was feeling nervous in the movie theater.
There was a few times where I was like, nope, 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 nope. I love horror films. I don't know if it's because of age or what, or maybe this movie was just so good. It scared me too. I have a question for you. At any given time during this movie, did you think, this kind of reminds me of Supernatural?
I can see what you mean.
Like the outside, the kid with the guitar, whenever he hit the thing, and I was like,
cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That reminded me a little bit of Supernatural, but not like I'm sitting in the theater going, man, that was such a supernatural moment. That was like, I like the way that they did that, because you've seen that before, but not in film, I don't think. Not really in film. So if you're a fan of Supernatural, then this may also be right up your alley. And there's a cute boy in it. It's not Sam and Dean, but his name's Bob.
Bob's got balls.
Bob's got balls. You'll get it.
It was a good one.
Go see the movie and you'll get it. Your final thoughts?
Definitely well worth it. Definitely. I cannot wait to see it again. We do need to see this again.
I still have some of my
we
candy.
Still have candy left?
I don't have candy.
You're holding out on me?
Yeah.
You're holding out on Annabelle?
She doesn't have a mouth.
She's got eyes. Put them in the eyes.
All right.
Put them in the eyes. Annabelle likes it. Annabelle likes it. Oh, wow, those are sweet. Or sour.
They're sweet tart.
Holy crap.
That's the whole nature of a sweet tart.
I did not expect that. Again.
I'm going to choke on my sweet tart.
New Grimm-Life giveaway.
Yeah.
The name of the guy, the actor who played Ed Warren in this movie. And one of these is yours. Dun dun. All right. Now, wait. So
That's not your final thought. What's your final thought on the movie?
my final thought on the movie. My God.
I kind of ran with that one.
I liked it. A couple years ago, there was a movie that came out called Insidious. And I really, really liked Insidious for one reason. I liked Insidious more than anything. It was the soundtrack. I love good visuals, but I love good sound. This movie, there were a few things about it that was just kind of like, okay, the kids. It was a good thing. It kind of reminded me of Goosebumps as well. The kids took over the movie. They had to save the day. They screwed up the day, then they had to save the day. But the lack of sound in this movie is what made it for me. It sucked me in. It got me scared
I
because
think silence does that.
yeah, because you watch so many movies, you listen to so many music, you have so much sound happening throughout your day, whether you're driving or you're at work, people talking, us creating sounds. But when it all comes down to it, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you get up in the middle of the night and you go to the bathroom after watching a scary movie that actually scared you, or maybe you don't think it scared you that much, but you go out into the hallway in your house in the dead of night, there's no sounds. What terrifies you? Hearing nothing and complete darkness. And that's what this movie was like. It felt like we were there in the room in the Warrens' basement, to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said for when you're building suspense and it's a nice quiet scene and you can hear that terror building in a character's breathing.
Jessica, what is your go-to choice for movie theater snacks?
Ooh, that's hard.
First off, what did you have tonight?
Tonight I had sweet tarts, chewy sweet tarts, because I love the chewies, and Reese's Pieces. I like a good popcorn and a soda, but I've noticed that I get a little bit more of a tummy ache by the end of the movie if I have a bunch of popcorn. Surprisingly, I don't get that with candy though. So my go-to right now, I think, is anything that's nice and chewy, like a chewy candy, like chewy sweet tarts.
Sweet tart, oh, they're sweet.
Chewy gobstoppers, oh, so good. But Reese's Pieces has become a favorite lately. Popcorn's always a staple snack, but what about yours? I know yours.
What's mine?
Raisinets.
I love Raisinets. I love chocolate-covered raisins. And I love Reese's Pieces, but tonight...
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. What are they called?
Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces. Go home! Well, that's not what E.T. says.
No.
But Reese's Pieces. But I love Raisinets. Tonight I had Raisinets. And I don't drink caffeine. But today, I don't really drink soda that much. We don't really drink that much soda. But today,
speak for yourself.
We had some root beer. She indulges me with a lack of caffeine and gets root beer. Occasionally, I'll have some caffeine.
I'm addicted to Dr. Pepper. Like, sincerely addicted to Dr. Pepper. It's terrible.
Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna get you some Dr. Salt.
Should we ask our followers or watchers what their favorite candy is for an additional entry?
Maybe. Okay. This is just becoming a whole bunch, right?
I will send you some of your favorite candy, right? Plus a mask.
Yes. So.
If I can find it. Nothing obscure, please.
Yeah, nothing too obscure. Make it like something that we can like walk into like CVS or like Walgreens and buy. Name of the actor who played Ed Warren. And
for an additional entry.
Additional entry in the same lug, start date, whatever today is, the 19th. I don't know what today is. What is your favorite movie theater candy? And you just might get a box or a bag of it with your mask. Unless Annabelle eats it all.
Or I eat it all.
Like the dude in the movie.
Yeah.
Here's your pizza, minus one slice, because I ate it in the car.
Gross.
Right? That guy was kind of weird.
We're weird.
No.
No, we're not that kind of weird.
We're not
okay,
weird.
So, for an additional entry, first you have to tell us the name of the character who played Ed Warren. But for an additional entry, just let us know what your favorite candy is when you see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.